DC's new 10-year plan, the final entry in our She-Hulk countdown, and our full review of the latest Predator movie, Prey. We're talking all this and more on this week's show. I'm your host, Nick.
And I'm Anthony.
And welcome to That Superhero Thing podcast.
Let's do it.
One more week till She-Hulk.
Only one.
One more week till She-Hulk.
Exciting.
So we've nearly finished the She-Hulk countdown.
It's now a week today, though, instead of 6 days.
I know. Have you enjoyed the She-Hulk countdown?
I have, actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
Even though we had to watch two really bad films.
Shit. I've actually really enjoyed it, to be fair.
Yeah, I kind of have. It's been nice going back and checking these things out.
The thing is, I've laughed a lot. Do you know what I mean?
We have. We've had a proper laugh. I mean, no spoilers for this episode, but in general, what did you think of this one? It's better than the other two.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Really?
So I like the story and the writing better in this one.
Okay. What didn't you like better in this one
CGI.
about the other one? It was better than
glowing
Bill Bixby.
I preferred the older one.
The 2003 one?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a disagreement straight away, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
We'll get there. I think we're going to do Hulk last. We've got loads of news to talk about. Loads of news this week. We've got Prey to talk about. We weren't going to do it, but spoilers, we really enjoyed it, so we thought we'll review that as well.
Yeah.
And there's loads of other bits. After we've been through all those reviews and the news, we'll be listening to all your thoughts and theories at the end of the show in Podfans Assemble. We've got timestamps in the description for you too, in case you want to skip ahead to the Prey review, the Hulk review, or to Podfans Assemble. Don't forget as well, if you enjoy the show, please make sure to follow us on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review. The more subs and reviews we get, the higher we rank in the podcast charts, and the more people will get to find our show, because we'll be higher in the search and stuff.
Exactly.
So please do it, and thank you to everybody who has. We've had loads of reviews recently, so thank you very much. News then. Loads of news, as I said. So first thing, we got our first look at Daredevil and She-Hulk, except it was our second look at Daredevil and She-Hulk, because we kind of got to look at him.
And it was dark.
It was dark.
So they were like, look at the yellow and red suit, and I was like,
you're like, I can't see yellow.
It all looks maroon.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of, it looks good. I like the look that they've gone for. They've not changed it massively though, have they? But again, why? If it's not broke, then fix it.
Exactly.
It looked good, the old suit. I wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It's more of a gold than a yellow, I would say.
Is it?
I would say the new one.
I'd be careful with that.
Why?
Because if they're going with gold and red,
what,
Iron Man, Spider-Man, like...
Yeah, I suppose.
It's just been used a lot.
Again, it works, though. It works. Don't knock it if it's working. Do you like it, though, in general?
Of the little I could see, yeah.
The little you could see. You've seen the one with his full mask, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that I sent you the other day. So organised we are, listeners. On the ball, as always. I like it. I kind of feel that they should have left the full look at it until the episode, though.
Yeah, I do.
It would have just been a good reveal.
Yeah. I
wonder if he's going to stay in that episode for the whole series. And I'm also wondering if that's the suit that they're going to have him wearing when he gets to his own series.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of just a gimmicky thing to put him in his yellow suit for now, and they'll put him back in the red suit going forward.
Yeah.
It's good, but again, we said this before, they're going for really real comic accurate suits now.
Yeah.
And you can get away with a yellow and red Daredevil rather than just dark red or black suit, can't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Next bit of news, Giancarlo Esposito has met with Marvel. He's confirmed. You know who Giancarlo Esposito is? You're just looking at me blankly.
Who's that?
Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh, is that his name?
That's his name?
I didn't think it was John.
No, Giancarlo. I pronounced it I just pronounced it really bad. Giancarlo Esposito. I'm not doing an accent. Giancarlo Esposito. Okay. Now he knows what I'm talking about. That he didn't know what I was talking about before. Our mate John, anyway, who was in The Boys. He was at a Comic-Con in Texas last weekend.
Yeah.
And he said that I have not worked for Marvel yet, but I've been in a room with them and I've talked with them. From fans talking, he said there's been talk of Magneto. There's also been talk of Dr. Freeze and Batman. And he said he's also heard talk of Doom and Professor X. And if he had to pick one, he'd go for something that's a little bit different and he'd have to put it out to the universe that he'd want to be Professor X. I can see him as Professor X more than a Doctor Doom.
Well, this is the thing, because he's always played villains.
I know, yeah, but I kind of want to see him do something different.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. So I would like to see him as Professor X.
I think he'd be good. I think he's... Do you want... I mean, I'm not saying that our mate John's old by any stretch, but I think I want a younger Doctor Doom.
His time would be... Yeah.
His time would be limited. That's what I was
No, I mean...
Sorry, John. Your time's limited. You're getting on now, mate.
I mean, in the role. But if you think about it... No, but listen. If you think about
such a good nurse.
Come on, you're going to need to do that way. You've not got long.
Your time is limited.
No, but on a serious note, if they're planning on this going through kind of a phase or two, you're talking like another 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So is it something that he's going to be wanting to do in 20 years'
Probably
time?
not.
If he's still around.
But he can get away. If he's Professor X, he just sits in a chair.
Let's be honest.
He'd be sitting down. He'd be
we're
all right.
lucky, we're lucky we've had...
Who?
I went to say Jean-Luc Picard, but
No.
that's not his name.
No, I know you mean Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For as long as we've had him.
But you can get away with it when he's playing a character like Professor X.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You couldn't have Jean-Luc Picard playing Doctor Doom. Do you know what I
No.
mean? It just wouldn't be menacing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like him to be Professor X. I'd kind of like them to pull something out the bag completely random that we don't know.
Robin.
Yeah. Can't. The time is limited. To be fair though, he goes through Robins like every 15 minutes, Batman.
Exactly.
So he'll be alright. Talking about Batman, let's talk DC. We'll come back out of DC news. We'll do a bit of Marvel as well. But DC have now apparently got a 10-year plan. So
I've seen.
So they say. So Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav, I think is how you pronounce it, he's confirmed that they have got the plan moving forward. All he said is it's a plan. He doesn't really tell you what it is. It's going to take 10 years to do the plan. He said there's not going to be any massive movie cancellations, but kind of a reboot for the DCEU. He's basically put it across that they want to copy what Kevin Feige did and have one person managing the whole DCEU. Go slow so that they're not trying to rush into things.
Yeah.
Which is like, have they only just figured this out that that's the way to do it?
20 years since the first of the Marvel ones.
Plus, it's a really vague idea.
Yeah.
Just by going, oh yeah, I've got a 10-year plan. We're going to do what they did. And that's it. There's not really much other than that.
Yeah.
As vague as it is, though, it's good that they can clearly now realise that there is a problem.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be sitting there saying we're gonna change things up. We're gonna do sort of like a soft reboot of the universe if they didn't realise there's a problem. I don't quite understand why they haven't figured out that Ezra Miller's a problem and the biggest part of the problem at the moment. But yeah, apparently they might have.
Oh, why?
Well, the Hollywood Reporter has said today, I think they published an article earlier on today, and they've pretty much said that Warner are now aware that they've got 3 options now with the Flash movie. They've said that Ezra is apparently now aware of all the issues and is asking for help, and the plan is that if Ezra does go down the route of getting help, that they're going to get them to do an interview to explain their side of the story. I don't know. That'll be interesting. That'll get more views than the Flash movie, to be perfectly honest. I'd be more inclined to watch that. So that's one option. And if Ezra does that, then they will just carry on moving forward with the movie as is. If Ezra stays on the same level that they're on now and doesn't apologise but doesn't do anything any worse, then they're just going to not get Ezra involved with any of the marketing and just push forward with the release.
Okay.
But if they get worse, then they're going to scrap the movie. Because they've said they can't reshoot it because Ezra is in almost every scene and plays multiple characters in the movie. So they can't reshoot. So it's just going to be a case of scrapping it. It's just going to get scrapped, basically. Because I can't see anybody buying an apology from Ezra at this point.
They've been arrested at this point.
Yes.
So hopefully that means that from a prison cell, they can't do anything worse.
No, I know, yeah.
And no marketing.
I know.
That's what
they're gonna do then, isn't it? They're gonna go down the keep quiet and hope Ezra. I'm not
let's
joking.
be honest.
Hope Ezra doesn't kill anybody between now and June next year. I'm not even joking at this stage. Seriously, it wouldn't surprise me if I woke up tomorrow and the news was that Ezra Miller would kill somebody. Not that I'm wishing that to happen. Would you be massively shocked?
No, not really. Not at this point.
But how can they be releasing a movie when people would believe that happened?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's it's mental. They just need to sort the whole situation.
The movie.
Yeah, I might do. I feel like I wouldn't want to go and pay to watch it in the
cinema.
I'm
on the Am I the Jerk? Because I'd still watch the film.
No, I'd kind of want to watch it.
I'm not being funny. Ezra Miller is one person in the 500-600 people that have put 18 months into it.
Yeah, no, but they're not one person in the movie. They're like half the cast, apparently. Yeah, in every single scene. So it's how they can they can move forward.
I just think it's tight. I'd do it to support all the others.
Yeah, Sasha Calle, who's now had her own movie scrapped.
Yeah,
So be supportive of
Michael
her.
Keaton as Batman.
Michael Keaton as well.
To see that one more time.
I know. Sticking with DC then, Idris Elba is apparently going to be in another project. He was doing an interview for his new movie Beast with Eric Davis from Fandango this week, and Eric asked if we'd see him next in a Marvel or a DC project, and he said that he's got a really big DC project in the works right now.
As same character again?
I don't know. Potentially not.
I don't know with DC.
It wouldn't surprise me. Maybe he's Batman now. I don't know. I believe it. Maybe he's the new Flash. Maybe they're reshooting the Flash.
Maybe he's going to be Batgirl.
I don't know. I'd believe any of it. I would literally believe any of it.
Could you imagine him with his dead deep voice being Batgirl?
I'd watch that
So
all
would I.
day long.
It'd be like white chick superhero
best
style.
movie ever. Seriously. He was good though. He was one of the best parts of the Suicide Squad. That was the second one, wasn't it? The Suicide Squad. The first one was just Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the best parts of that. He did really well. But he's always got Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Good actor. Yeah, I'm
Do you
excited
know what,
to get him
though?
back.
I wasn't a massive fan of Luther.
I've never watched Luther.
I watched quite a lot of it, but I just...
Even though you didn't like it.
I felt like it was a bit sick. Well, his sidekick was hot.
Oh, okay. Fair play.
So I spent a lot of the time enjoying that instead.
That's a decent excuse.
And then he got murdered, and I was really sad.
And now you started watching it. That's why you don't like it anymore, because the hot sidekick got killed. Last bit of DC news. This just came out yesterday or this morning. The Pennyworth series. I told you about this yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The Pennyworth series
no.
is back for a season 3. I didn't even know it actually come out yet. I knew it was happening. I just didn't think it was actually a real
2
thing.
seasons in.
2 seasons in, they've decided to change the title of the series. So now it's not going to be called Pennyworth. It's going to be called Pennyworth, The Origins of Batman's Butler. Who thought of that?
Why did a boardroom of 20 other people go, that's fucking
good.
brilliant?
That's good. Because David Zaslav thought of it and no one wanted to get sacked. He's firing people left, right and centre and they've all gone, that's a good idea, that David. Yeah, it's brilliant. Breaking news, the Flash movie's had its title changed as well. It's going to be called Flash. Yes, we can't believe we've released this shit either, especially when we cancelled Batgirl. That's the new title.
I thought you were going to say Flash. He's dead fast.
That'd be better. That'd be better. Do that one. Do that one instead. Back on to Marvel and Disney. So there's been some Ironheart set photos leaked via Just Jared. We see the mocap suit. So it's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. used to wear. It's like just the top half of the suit and then mocap on the bottom. And then we see the full suit prop as well. It's big.
It is big.
It's like bigger than War Machine.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's like, not the Mark 1 because we're going to see the Mark 1 in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
But the Mark 2. She's gonna.
Yeah.
I just see it. I mean, in the comics, it's more like Rescue, more like Pepper Potts was in Endgame. So I mean, unless they just don't want to copy that design and they want to come up with something a bit different.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're gonna go down the route of a more sleek design.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you think that she'd get there quicker?
Because the technology's already been out there.
already there.
Yeah.
But I'll be fair, I don't know what her exact story is.
Maybe it's lack of money for her.
Yeah,
she hasn't got the funds.
She's not a
to make it
multi-billionaire like Tony Stark. Fair play, to be honest. It looks good though. I like the look of the suit. As bulky as it is, and as not what I expected, it does look good. We also saw, potential spoilers for the series, Anthony's mate Anthony Ramos, who I know all his films. In the Heights, Hamilton.
Yeah.
I don't know anything else. Go on, what else was he in?
A Star Is Born.
That's it. He was Lady Gaga's best mate in Star Is Born at the start.
Yeah.
See, I know what I'm talking
Will
about.
and Grace.
Yeah, Will and Grace as well.
He was Grace's apprentice.
He is in this.
Yeah.
He is going to be apparently playing a villain called the Hood.
The Hood. Yeah.
Hood. I did a bit of research on the Hood. Apparently, in the comic books, he's a thief who kills a demon, robs his cloak and boots, and gets his powers.
Oh?
I don't know whether that's the way they're going to go in the series.
It's alright for some, innit?
Yeah, it's alright. That was a good idea.
Be a good way to bring in Mephisto.
Can you imagine? I killed Mephisto. Yeah, Mephisto's not here. I killed him, and
no, Mephisto's brother.
I've robbed his boots.
Robbed his brother's boots, and Mephisto comes after him, being like,
"Is that right? Do you know this?"
No.
Oh, I thought Andy had done research then.
I'm just making
God, listeners, you should have seen.
Good though, didn't
you should have seen my face. Just pure shock on my face. I was like, Anthony's research of the comics. Sounds good though. I like that.
Sounded legit.
Kind-ish.
Let's go for it.
Do you know what? When I read that's who the Hood was, I thought there's no way they're going to go down that route with this. But again, we're getting more comic booky. I could see that. I could see that happening. Sticking with Marvel, then apparently maybe there's a Punisher show in the works.
Yeah.
But kind of backtracked. Rosario Dawson was at Comic-Con in Chicago. She said that she'd heard that the Punisher was happening again. She said she never got to work with John Bernthal last time, so she's hoping that she will this time. But now she's backtracked and said, don't trust me, I heard it from a fan at the Comic-Con, and then decided to tell everybody about it. So
Rosario.
either
You're
that's
silly.
true, or she said it, and then Marvel have gone, "You're not supposed to tell anybody that." But again, it's not really a surprise when we've got
No.
what's his face? Who plays Daredevil?
And they said Charlie Cox.
That is Charlie Cox.
Oh, yeah.
Who did you think you were supposed to say?
I got Charlie Cox and Matt Murdock mixed
Oh, okay.
the wrong way
that's
round.
fine. I thought you were going for
It's because
Charlie.
it's CC and MM. It just throws me.
It does, yeah. Proper comic book character
Names, yeah,
names. Yeah. Boss. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I hope they do. I hope they bring John Bernthal back. I feel like it might be a bit of a dark series, though.
Well, he essentially had 3 series, didn't he? Because he was in so much of Daredevil as well as having his own series of The Punisher.
Have you watched the series of The Punisher?
I got like 2 episodes in and
I
got
haven't watched
bored
them.
very
I
quickly.
didn't even finish season 2 of Daredevil. I need to go back and watch them.
Yeah, I just there's only so much the Punisher can do on his own, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's so ground level, like he's not even got. He's just a
He's not
good
got any
shot.
powers.
Like that's pretty much it.
It's just Hawkeye with a bulletproof vest, isn't he, basically?
Yeah.
Who uses guns instead of a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boring. Team him up with Hawkeye. Oh, I'd watch that. John Bernthal and what's her face, Haley Steinfeld. That'd be such a good series. Him just getting wound up with hair all the time.
She's just talking in his face, and he just wants peace and quiet.
Amazing.
It'd be funny as fuck, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. That's the next series.
And then Yelena comes and joins them.
I would be absolutely buzzing if that was a series.
That'd be quite funny.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, me too.
Last couple of bits of Disney.
Guns and bows.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a name. Let's not go with guns and bows.
All I can think of is boats and hoes.
Sticking with Disney Plus news then. Disney Plus has had a price increase, or will be having a price increase in December.
I was furious about this, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know if it's been announced for the UK yet, but it's been confirmed
I think
for
I'm
the
going to have to
US.
go for the ads, you know.
It's $7.9, so it's $7.99 a month at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the same price in pounds as well in the UK. They are keeping that price, but that's now going to be the ad version, and there will be at least 4 minutes of adverts every hour. Or you can now upgrade to the premium version, which is $10.99 and won't have any adverts. To be fair, there's a lot on there. When you compare it to Netflix, there's so much more on there than Netflix, and Netflix is miles more expensive.
I know.
So I'm all right with it.
I must say, I'm debating whether to get rid of Netflix at the minute.
I am. Do you know why I am? This isn't comic book movie related at all.
They keep cancelling everything.
I got 6 series into watching Parks and Rec and went to watch series 7 the other day, and they've friggin' taken it off.
Oh.
I'm not happy.
Listen.
I was this close to cancelling Netflix. And then I remembered I've got to watch this Pig and Sandman series. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But,
and the final season of Lock and Keys come out, so I need to watch that as well. I enjoyed that.
I don't even know what
Soz
that
by
is.
me.
Soz by you.
Soz about me.
Soz by you. Last bit of Disney Plus news. I Am Groot came out this week. Yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, I watched it. There's 5 5-minute episodes, even though the first 30 seconds of each episode is the titles and the last 2 minutes is credits. So
You got about 1.5 minutes.
There's 5
90-second episode.
There's 5 2-minute episodes basically. They're good. They're not MCU canon. I mean, they might be MCU canon. Nothing really massively important happens. I can't even spoil them. There's Groot learning to walk when he's in the plant pot. There's him killing loads of little aliens. There's him with like a water ghost and rockets in that one. And I'll be honest, I can't remember the other 2 because they weren't that memorable. It was good though. It was just.
I mean, it's
a
a
little
little
bit
short
of
for the
fun.
kids, innit?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
I'm glad we thought of the She-Hulk countdown, because if we devoted an episode to the bloody I Am Groot series, we'd be knackered. We'd be done.
tumbleweed.
We'd be done now. The whole episode would be finished. That's us for news, though. Shall we do the reviews? Should we
Yes.
start with Prey?
Yeah.
And we'll wrap up with the She-Hulk countdown.
Yeah.
Let's start with Prey then. Spoilers for the end of the review. What did you think? Did you love it as much as
It
me?
was good when she died. Jokes.
Don't say that. Everyone's seen it.
I know,
Everyone's watching. It is the most watched Hulu premiere ever.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't watch it on Hulu.
It's
we
also
watched
the
it on Disney
highest
Plus.
rated of the Predator films.
I can believe that. I didn't know that, but I believe that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that we weren't going to do it in this podcast. And I thought, I watched it and texted you and said, we need to cover Prey. Watch Prey. Do it now. And I texted him every 15 minutes going, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet?
Took me a day.
It took him a day. That's not a dig against the film. It's a really, really good film. It's a short film.
It was a short film. I thoroughly enjoyed it, though. Couldn't have told you what time it was set in.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you the exact year, but I would imagine it was like when the Europeans arrived in America.
Well, that's what I thought. However,
Go on, what did you think?
well, it was just
was there
like
a car in the background or something?
the one thing I didn't like was that 1 minute they're hunting, and then the next minute people turn up with guns.
Yeah, but like old style 1800s.
Yeah.
Old style 1800s.
No, I
guns.
know. So I know it was like Pocahontas time, John Smith coming.
Yeah.
I know that. I get that. But it just seemed like no one was aware that they were there, and then suddenly they're there.
They're there, yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they kind of came out of nowhere.
That's all I mean about it. And it was just like two different centuries had just clashed, which I know is technically what happened because they were a lot further back in kind of technology and all of that kind of stuff and industrialization. But it's that's the only bit that I didn't like. It just seemed a bit out of place.
I get that, but I think that's probably one of the good things about the movie because it was so fast paced.
Yeah.
It was like totally. An hour and 40 minutes.
But I loved the fact that it was going back to the whole. You don't need the best weapons to be able to overcome something.
Yeah, I agree.
So for the fact that some of those scenes where the Predator just absolutely annihilated entire little colony village things, like was just so impressive.
Yeah.
I was just blown away by it. I just thought it was brilliant.
I loved it. The thing is, right,
and very different compared to what we've seen because it's all been about in the future style or today, and they've gone, let's do a primal version.
It was, but I feel like at the same, I mean, it was different in certain ways, like with the fact that they went to it. It was obviously a prequel because obviously everything's been a Predator sequel that we've seen so far, but also the fact that they went back to like 1800s and not like New York or London or something like that.
Yeah.
But it felt like if you told me what the film was, I'd feel like I've seen that film before. Like because it's with how many Predator movies there've been, Alien movies, Terminator movies. But somehow this felt really fresh at the same time, even though it was the same formula. It felt new. It kind of was like a bit of a homage to Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor, but it feels like other films have tried to do that in the past, like the bloody Terminator Genesis movie.
That was exactly what I was about to say.
What's her name from Dragons, Game of Thrones? You know what I mean? Mother of Dragons. What's her name?
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah,
that wasn't good, but that felt like that's what they were trying to do. And then this nailed it by just making things a little bit different. I like the fact that they explored so much of the Comanche, Native American culture. They didn't spend loads of time on it, but we still got like little.
In Comanche as well,
I know one of our patrons, Kenneth, told us. I didn't know that. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do a third viewing. I would have done my second viewing, but I was doing my notes on my second viewing, so I thought I can't because I get lost. Completely. Not that it'd be that easy to get lost, to be fair, but I like that they had the whole sort of like the proving the Katamir, I think they called it, which was basically going out and hunt something that's hunting you and survive and bring it back. So the whole sort of, again, like the proving. We saw the selection and appointment of their war chief and the whole ceremony that goes with it. We didn't spend loads of time on it, but it was just enough to show that it's different, if you get what I mean. And again, they could have so easily done this with US characters or English characters. And it was just a nice change that they didn't. The story itself was, again, really basic, but not in a bad way.
Have you heard that the dog was an absolute fucking nightmare on set?
No. He looked like a diva.
Everyone loved him anyway. They said, but apparently he was really tough to work with.
Really? In what way?
I think he was just overexcitable, to be honest, and not necessarily following instruction.
Wouldn't you think they'd have like super well-trained dogs to do this sort of thing?
Well, yeah, you'd think. But again, you can have the best trained
probably
dog,
some famous person's dog.
Yeah.
Pure nepotism.
What's awkward is when they start slagging it off and you find out it was John Wicks and he's coming for the entire cast and crew now. But no, apparently I think it was just like he was mischievous, but it obviously cost money because of reshoots and things like that when he's not.
Be fuming. That's why it was an hour and 40 minutes. It was only supposed to be a 3-hour movie. They couldn't because it's a reshoot of the dog. They ran out of film.
Can we just say though, talking about animals, that bear fight was amazing.
That was amazing. We'll go through the scenes in a bit of detail, but that was so good. That I don't think it was slow up to that point, but it was a different pace up to that point.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that bear fight happened, it was like bang, it's full on now for the rest of the movie. And
that
again, it
bear
was good.
Seemed a lot cleverer than I thought they were as well.
I don't know. I've
like
never had a conversation with a bear. Don't know how intelligent they are.
I mean, Paddington seemed cool. No.
He seems quite clever.
No, but like,
he's not that intelligent. Paddington can fucking talk.
Bottom of the cliff, and it smells her, sees her, and then it instantly knows how to get up to her. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, she's like racing to get that sorted. I would have thought I'd have had like 5-10 minutes before it finds out how to get to me.
Maybe.
Do you know
I like
what I mean?
the way that you've thought about it in that much depth.
Well, sometimes that happens.
I know.
I live alone now. I've got no much else to do.
Just see you shouting at the sofa.
Sat here with my thoughts.
Somebody talk to me about it. Slagging it off.
Fucking seagulls.
Duncan. Seagulls. But yeah, anyway, the story, dead straightforward. Predator lands, takes out all the biggest warriors. Underdog kills it, which is the girl. That's it.
Yeah.
But again, I like the fact that it wasn't overly complicated. It's like I instantly thought of the 2003 Hulk that we watched the week before.
Yeah.
How overly complicated they made that
Oh,
to try and make it more interesting, and it was just boring.
Yeah.
You didn't need it. You just needed this. You needed bad Predator showing how tough he is by killing all these other things.
Yeah.
And then have the underdog, which again has been done to death.
Yeah, yeah.
But it really, really worked.
It was so gruesome.
It was gruesome. It
Like,
was gruesome.
Literally like ripping limbs off, kind of gruesome.
Yeah.
Which I was here for.
But not over the top.
No.
And
No, 'cause you don't like when it gets too gory.
I don't mind a film being extremely gory if there's a point to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like it. Not that I'm sort of like put off by blood or anything like that. If there's a point to it, it's like The Boys is really gory. Like spoilers, when Homelander rips out what's his face, Black Noir's insides and his guts everywhere. I'm okay with that because it felt like it was needed for the story. I don't like murder porn movies. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just like Saw. It's just like, how much blood and guts can we get on the screen just for the sake of to make people go, oh, look at all the blood and guts.
See, whereas I love Saw.
See, I don't get it. I think that's purely the purpose of that movie, to make people get grossed out. Yeah. And this did it really, really subtly. I don't know whether it was to get a certain age rating on Disney Plus or anything like that, but it didn't show you things that it didn't need to show you, but there was still an element of blood and gore to it. Yeah, if you get what I mean. It's like when he kills the coyote, when he slices the coyote, you see it from a distance, and you can tell that the coyote's insides have all fallen out. Yeah, yeah. But it didn't have a close-up of it and him dragging everything out of him. Do you know what I mean? Because it didn't need to be. You got it. And again, that's why it was good. They could have stretched this film out for 2.5 hours so easily. Yeah, you could have had a subplot in there that didn't need to be in there. Yeah. It could have got dragged out. The fact that it was just an hour and 40 minutes was one of the biggest bonuses for me, to be perfectly honest. We didn't even spend loads of time building up the bad guy and doing world building of the Predator.
You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah, but I think that's obviously one bonus, the fact that everybody knows what the Predator is and everybody knows how he works and what his purpose is, and the fact that he he only kills predators and he only kills people who are a challenge and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But even if you didn't know that, it did it very quickly, and it told you throughout the story. Yeah. And it didn't throw anything at you that was like, oh, this is what we're doing here, let's make a massive point of this for 15 minutes or anything like that. All the clues through the whole movie were really subtle on how to kill the predator. So like the medicine that cools your blood, the muddy swamp that they told you about, they stuck in your head, but neither of it was like wink wink nudge nudge, this is how we're going to kill the predator later. I'll be honest, when she went in the swamp the first time, I thought at first the predator's going to roll up now and he's not going to see her because she's in the mud, because that's how Arnie kills him in the first one. And then when that didn't happen, I thought, oh, it's just a bit of a homage to the original Predator movie by having the swamp. But then it brought it back, but it did it, and again, in a way that you didn't think that's what she's going to do to kill the Predator. But when as soon as you saw that swamp, it was like, I know where this is going. She's going to try and drown it or something, which is obviously what she tried to do at first. Character-wise, again, there's not loads of predators. There's not loads of characters to talk about. There's two. So there's Naru, played by Amber Midthunder, and her brother Tarbe, I think is how you pronounce it, played by Dakota Beavers. Again, it didn't try and introduce.
They have some awesome last names, by the way.
They are boss.
Midthunder and Beavers.
I know, yeah. It's good.
Sorry,
like
just had to
I want
point
to change my name to like Nick Full Thunder instead of Mid Thunder. Yeah, I'm going for that. Anyway, it didn't try and introduce like a huge plethora of characters. Do you know what I mean?
No point if you're going to kill most of them off, is there?
No, but again, films do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think some films think, we'll introduce this character and let you get to know this character so that when we kill them, you're really surprised. Yeah. But everyone's going to die. It's a Predator movie. Yeah, One person's going to survive the Predator movie. It's that type of movie. Talking about the characters, though, Amber as Naru, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Considering she spent a lot of her time on her own on screen, or just her and the diva of a dog, apparently.
Yeah. And to be how do I word it? Like, to be that emotive and to keep you hooked
Yeah.
without speaking.
Yes.
Because a lot of that there's no speech in a lot of scenes.
No.
It's just her on her own. So
Yeah.
it's all about the action and what she's doing, how she does it, all of that kind of stuff. And you were just still hooked.
Yeah, yeah. And just
that,
the
as an actor,
how
is
emotive
amazing.
her face was as well.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
could see the shock without her having to tell somebody, oh God, this thing's here, and when she's scared and all that sort of stuff. She did a really good job. I think again, a tough thing with it is making it believable, or making her believable. She didn't all of a sudden overpower this predator and learn how to, like,
she
beat the shit out of it. Exactly, yeah. She did, and she didn't just get super lucky at the same time, which is another proper trope of this sort of thing. The predator would have a sort of like on the ropes and something had happened, and it's like, right, that's what we're going to use to kill her. We'll talk about the scenes. There were a couple of like lucky bits and pieces, but that wasn't the whole thing. It was her doing it. She learned basically along the way, real time with us, how to go about killing it, and it just worked basically from there. Similar with Tabe, he was a bit cocky, but not extreme. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, another trope is to make him a complete arsehole, and then he has a huge character turn at the end. And he didn't do that.
No. But again, you go back to those times and you're thinking it was all about the strongest warrior. And to be the strongest warrior, you've got to have that ego behind you. You've got to have that kind of push.
To
I know
what you mean.
Prove yourself constantly.
Yeah.
So it's a trait that's very believable for who he was and what he was about.
And at the same time, he's still her big brother.
Yeah.
So he still loved her.
Yeah.
So there wasn't that whole. It made sense that he'd sacrifice himself.
Protective thing over her as well.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Yeah. But again, films don't normally go. Even films where they do have him being related or the brother or something like that. Most films that go down the route of they hate each other, they don't talk to each other, and then he had a massive redemption at the end and sacrificed himself. It didn't need to be that complicated.
No.
It just needed to be. He was a little bit cocky, which quite rightly he was the toughest in the tribe.
You look at some of the most latest ones where people have quite an emotive response to someone's death and stuff like that. I mean, one of the biggest ones in the last few years was Big Hero 6. Like, I don't know, I know it's a cartoon and all that kind of stuff, but like the fact that it's his big brother and they are so close, and within the first 10 minutes,
I couldn't remember that, but
and within the first 10 minutes, his brother dies. Do you know what I mean? And that hit people a lot harder. Same with Up. You look at Up with Ellie and Carl. Her entire story was told in the length of a song. Yeah. And that hit people harder than some of these character arcs that you've built over an hour and 40 minutes and then killed them. Yeah. And the simpler stuff works. I agree. And that's that's the big thing about it. Again, an hour 40-minute movie, not a 3-hour epic. Like Hulk that we watched last week. It was dragged out far too long. Oh God, yeah. I suppose the third character is the Predator. Yeah. I loved the look of the Predator in this. Yeah, me too. It was a bit different. Again, primal. Yeah, it had the primal feel. I mean, it helped that he was obviously collecting the skulls of the animals that he was killing. Yes, yeah. And putting them on his little pouch. Yeah. But even like the mask thing, it wasn't metallic or anything like that. It looked like bone. It did, yeah. I don't know specifically what it was. I thought it might have been part of the bear. It must have been metal, though. No, because he had it from the start. It must have been metal because that dude shot him in the face and it bounced off. Yeah. So it must have been. It's just the design I assume he's gone for. But even the design of the Predator, it was a little bit different to the Predators that we've seen before. The whole shape of his face was different. Yeah, yeah. I liked the way that we went. Didn't see it for very long, though, did we? No. And I think that's a good thing as well. Because I think that's where when he took that mask off and you could see it in the bright, the daylight. Yeah, yeah. It looked a bit shit. I'll be really honest. That's again one little sort of critique. It looked better with the skull mask over it. Yeah. And the whole Predator looked really practical. I don't know how they made it. I don't know whether the whole thing was practical apart from the face being the CG and the sort of pincer mouth or anything like that. Yeah. But it looked really, really good and it looked practical. Even if they've done it in CG, I like the fact that that's what it looked like. It looked very realistic. The face, I said, when he took the mask off, it looked a bit not as good. Yeah. Not as good. They could have easily as well made him a lot more visible throughout the movie. And earlier on in the movie, let us see him. And I like the fact that they didn't. Yeah. Even though we all know what a predator looks like. Yeah. They chose to still keep it hidden to build that element of suspense. And again, it paid off a little bit because he did look a little bit different to what we'd seen. Yeah. I suppose that kept you thinking all the way through. Well,
I think I know what this thing looks like, but I'm not entirely sure what it looks like. And it was right at the end, basically. Standout scenes then. There were quite a lot of like fight scenes.
Yeah.
As I said, it started off slow.
Yeah.
Not bad slow,
No.
just slower pace.
Yeah.
And then we got to the bear, and then it was constant fight.
The bear one was my favourite.
I really enjoyed the bear one.
I thought it was so good,
Yeah.
so well done. And like again for her, you know, her movements and what she did were clever. They were well thought out.
Yeah.
She went and hid in a beaver dam.
Yeah.
Specifically to get away from the bear. She
I
knew
know.
she wasn't going to defeat it.
Yeah.
And it's not that whole, she manages to overcome it with pure luck or, you know, something like that. It's she knows she's not going to win this, so she does the best thing she can do, which is run and hide.
Yeah.
Which
it's all about
brilliant.
smart, isn't it? She's outsmarted it.
And I love it.
It was really intense, though. I knew she wasn't
really
going to
intense.
die, but I still thought that bear was potentially getting through that beaver dam because it got really, really close.
It did.
And again, the fact that it had you on edge thinking this girl could die, even though I know she's not going to die because she's the main character.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me if she had died halfway through and Tarbay had then gone the revenge route.
Even when she dived into the water on the other side and the predator saw her, I was like, oh my God, he's seen her.
Yeah, he's going to chase
even
her.
though we know that he doesn't attack anyone that's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
the point of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah. So even though I knew that was the case, I was still like, oh my God,
yeah.
she needs to get away now.
Yeah. It was so
Like,
good.
yeah.
And the bear and the predator wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, just literally.
And then the bear
fist
landing
fight.
so close to her when it like smashed through the dam. I
It
was
just
like,
showed
Jesus.
and again, showed how tough the predator is.
Yeah.
And that there's
He
no
literally
way.
lifted it over his head.
There's no way this girl's beating this thing
No.
hand-to-hand combat or outfighting it.
No.
Basically, it's got
Not
to
at
be.
all.
It's got to be outsmarted.
Yeah.
There was then another fight, kind of. It was a fight straight after. So she escapes. She gets picked up by the tribe.
Yeah.
Which was rough because that
It
idiot
was really
beat the
rough,
shit
that.
out of her.
Yeah.
Which was.
Essentially, because she was a woman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Trying to answer back.
Yeah.
Which is such an outdated concept, but
No, I know.
Again,
It's 1800s, isn't it?
Yeah. But again, I liked the fact that it didn't knock her. Do you know what I mean?
No, I
even
know.
though they were beating the shit out of her,
Yeah.
it didn't knock her at all. She was like,
She was quite happy to stand up for herself and,
Yeah.
get beaten up, basically.
Yeah.
I think it was another way of showing that this predator, because it was right after this predator's just beat a bear with his bare hands.
yeah,
And now this girl has got beaten up by just average Comanche warrior.
yeah.
There is no chance this girl's beating this
No.
predator on her own. And even though you knew it was coming and she's
Yeah.
gonna beat him somehow, it just like it constantly cemented it. And
Yeah.
it did it a lot of times considering it's such a short movie.
Yeah,
After he sort of like ripped all the Comanche warriors to pieces,
yeah,
which again, not overly graphic, I thought one of the best scenes now was so short a scene when she's hiding in the grass with that lad.
yes,
And then it comes running through the grass, gets the lad, which just reminded me of Jurassic Park 2 with the raptors.
that's exactly what I was going to
100%.
say.
That's exactly what I thought of straight away. And then when it did the overhead shot and you saw her running
Yeah.
and the predator catching up with her,
Yeah.
I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, this thing's, he's gonna get her. And he did. He caught up to her, and it's only because he saw her as not being a threat because she was in that bear trap
Yeah,
that he didn't attack, and he
Yeah.
saw his opportunity for a bigger fight with all the invaders. Would you call them? Were they French or
don't know.
they were European?
Probably British, knowing our luck.
Well, do you know what? That's what I thought, because when I saw them, I thought these are going to be British now,
Yeah,
and I didn't know whether, because I don't know French or whatever they were speaking, I didn't know whether.
Oh, le predator!
Exactly. I didn't know whether they were supposed to be British, but they'd made them sound like they had a foreign language to show that she can't understand what they're saying.
Okay.
I didn't know whether that was it. They might have just been speaking perfect French or Spanish or Portuguese or something like that. I don't know. But I did. That's where my head went first.
Okay.
So I don't know. So if you know, and they were speaking
Tell us.
something that we know, let us know.
Yeah.
The fight with the invaders, though, brutal.
Yes.
So good. I really enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed all these scenes, but this one was really good. He basically just tore through all these fellas, who are probably not skilled warriors, but they're invaders. They've been going around, whether it's due to skill or brutality or just better weapons.
Yeah,
they're still taking over, so they are a step above the Comanche.
they've essentially spent their lives just like pillaging.
Exactly, and he still just tore through them in minutes.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, even though we'd seen it, the predator beat a bear, it was 1-on-1, and then he beat the coyote, and it was 1-on-1.
Yeah.
And I know with the Comanche lads, it was 2-on-1.
Yeah.
But this was like 20 of them.
Yeah.
And this was like, right, this is what this monster can do.
Yeah.
And it just tore through them all. There were still loads of clues in it.
Yeah.
As to, like, because he was jumping from tree to tree, so that's why she's put all the spikes on the tree.
Yeah.
But we saw like the whole like arsenal of his weapons, like his Wolverine claw, the blade that he kind of like that she ended up getting hold of, the shield.
Yes.
The shield was so good. I didn't expect him to use the shield in the way that he used the shield.
No.
But it was really good.
It was cool.
We also got the line, "If it bleeds, we can kill it."
Yeah.
Which is obviously from Arnie's line from the original one. So I like that as well. The last couple of scenes, there was the invaders camp and Tabe's death. So we saw Naru really like mirroring the previous scene.
Yeah.
Because she was just tearing through these invaders.
Yeah.
Which again was, I don't know whether it was trying to sort of put them on level pegging. Because she didn't even just use like a head to do it. She literally just beat them up through skill and better fighting. Really, I really enjoyed that scene though.
I did,
because
it was really good.
We'd seen her be like a bit of a badass all the way through, but not necessarily physically.
Yeah.
So to see her like in a full-on fight, kind of shocked me a little bit, but in a good way, completely. We also got the last few clues as to how we're going to kill the predator. So you saw the homing arrows, the fact that they went to where the helmet was aiming, even where no matter where he shot him. Wouldn't the predator know that?
It was a bit Yondu, wasn't it?
Yeah, but wouldn't he know that? Because I mean, later on she uses that to kill him. But did he? Unless he thought later on, she's not got my helmet, but I've not got my helmet. So if I shoot her, it'll just hit her because the helmet's not here. Or the helmet's lying like 10 miles away, and he's going to shoot him. It's going to just shoot up in the air and just fly off the arrows. I like the fact it was arrows.
I liked that it was arrows
rather than just bullets or laser guns or something like that. I like the fact that they went that route. We also, as we said, we got Tabe's sacrifice. Yeah. So he held his own against the predator as well.
He did.
I like that. And again, I like the fact like there was one shot where he shot him in the leg, ran past him, slid under his legs, pulled the arrow out. Yeah, and shot him again with the same arrow. Yeah. It was really, really good.
I like that.
He proper held his own against that. He did. Better than anybody else, considering it was 1-on-1 with 20 of these invader dudes couldn't take him out. Yeah, I was a bit sad when he died though.
I was a bit sad.
I didn't think I would be because he was a bit of a prick at the start of the movie, but again, not that much of a prick.
Yeah.
That it wasn't kind of like, go on, yeah, you're all right, but I'm all right with you dying sort of thing. Yeah, it was good. The final battle then, really clever, but really, really simple.
Yeah.
And straightforward. Again, not overly complicated. I was at first a bit like, is that it?
Do you know what? As soon as I saw it, all I could think was, it's a trap.
It was, yeah. But it was. Yeah. It was just a trap.
Just her using brains over brawn. That's literally what it's all about.
Exactly, yeah. Again, you could pick at it and say, well, it's a bit boring because the plan worked. And these other movies, would have been a bit more intense if it hadn't worked and she'd had to think of something quick and got lucky. Yeah. That's the point of this character, Naru. She's more intelligent than anybody else. She came up with a plan. She's calculated. And it worked. She does. That's why she beat the predator, not because she was lucky. There were a couple of lucky bits, like the dog showing up and sort of distracting him, and then the dog throwing the axe to her. That was a bit random. But again, there was nothing.
Do you know how many
major.
shots it took for that dog to throw that axe?
He just refused to do it. He's like, no, I'm not throwing the axe. He just
about 3 stuntmen lost their limbs.
Absolute ball ache for dog. But it could have gone on a lot longer, that scene. Yeah. And again, it didn't need to. No. It just worked. It wasn't too short.
The pace was just there the whole way through, and
it was.
That is a massive indicator for a lot of films. If the pace isn't there, it's not going to work.
No. And do you know what? I think that's a good thing, because I think I said this to you as well. It felt to me like about 45 minutes. Yeah. It just felt like a long episode of a TV series, which is a good thing, because I enjoyed every minute of it. Whereas the Hulk movie, not this one that we watched this week, the one that we watched last week, it was 2 hours 18 minutes and it felt like 4 days.
Yeah, it did.
It just dragged on and on and on. This was really, really good.
It was 4 days for me.
It was 4 days for you. I mean, to wrap it up, I loved it. I saw a lot of reviews praising this, so I went in with really high expectations, thinking it's not going to live up to the expectations. Yeah. I was massively surprised.
I didn't really read up on it, so I didn't know what to expect, apart from you saying it was really good.
Oh, okay.
So I just kind of went in and just watched and was like, Jesus, this is impressive.
Yeah. Sequel wise, so it wasn't a post credit scene, it was like a mid credit scene,
Yeah.
but not a mid credit scene. It was kind of the credits,
Yeah.
which was a really interesting way of doing it. I've never seen it done like that. You know what I'm
No.
talking about, don't you?
I don't know.
So when the credits started rolling,
Yeah.
it showed you like Comanche drawings of everything that had happened in the movie,
Yeah.
and then at the last drawing is her getting the war chief staff, because that's what happened at the end of the
I must have
movie.
missed it.
Yeah, so she gets presented the cartoon, not the cartoon, but the Comanche drawing
Yeah,
version of
yeah.
her gets presented it, and then all of a sudden all the clouds part behind them and 3 Predator ships come down.
Oh shit.
And that's it. Then it goes to the black, the normal
yeah.
white on black credits.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know whether that's what we're going to see in the sequel. I don't know if I want a sequel. I feel like they'll ruin it if we get a sequel. I feel like Disney will go money, money, money,
Yeah.
and they'll just ruin it. And all the things that we've just said that we liked about it, how it wasn't overly complicated and it wasn't an overly long film, Disney will go, let's make it really long. Let's throw in some subplots so that we can have a spin-off.
And Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, I like Sigourney Weaver, but yeah, I kind of don't want a sequel. I want to leave it there.
Well,
I'd be okay with another Predator
this is
movie.
the thing. We're in an age at the minute where nostalgia is a thing, and we are doing everything to death.
Yeah,
There's no new ideas, and this one has worked for Prey, but essentially it's still nostalgia. It's still using Predator, something that's been going for a
but I
long
don't
time.
think it relied on the nostalgia.
Yeah, no, I agree, and to be fair, it was very, very fresh.
Yeah.
However, I do think we're stuck in this thing of, if this has worked, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
And that's the bit where I'm going, ugh, can we just have new ideas now, please?
I think I'd be more okay with them doing another one though. Like, I think I've seen people on Twitter saying it. Do another Predator movie now. The same sort of movie, even with Amber Midthunder coming back, but playing a different character at another point in history.
Could you imagine one in World War One or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't really want to see.
No Man's Land wasn't really because of the shooting.
It was because there was a Predator running around. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely. Go that route. Have it as a bit of an anthology series of movies instead. I don't need a shared universe. I don't need the Predator to pull everybody out at different times in movie number 6 and they all fight the Predators. We don't need that. Let's just have this be that story, and then let's have another story. Because otherwise we'll just end up hating Amber Midthunder's character. Go to the bloody Matrix.
Yeah.
The first Matrix movie was brilliant. It was low budget, still looked really good, but it was its own story and it was good. And then the movie studios, Warner Brothers, got onto it and just made 2 shite sequels.
Yeah.
To make it that made a ton of money. They did, but I'm all right with no sequel to this. Just another Predator movie.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Good. Well done for agreeing with me.
No worries.
Should we talk about Hulk? The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk.
2008.
Yeah.
Better or worse than Prey?
Worse than Prey.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna not agree on this though. I really enjoy this movie.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I still think it was a bit shit.
I don't.
I thought it was right. So storyline and all of that kind of stuff was a hell of a lot better than Hulk.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, I didn't like Bruce's CGI as Hulk. I didn't like it.
I don't think it was as good.
Honestly, it was like when you go to biology and when they take all the skin off.
Yeah.
And you see all of the muscles individually.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
No, I know.
When you saw it like spreading out and like the individual muscle lines on his chest or like
sinewy.
I was like, no, I don't like that.
I liked that.
No, I didn't.
thought it was a better not necessarily a better look, but a different way of doing things. Yeah, but that's just because you were used to the bloody bobblehead Hulk from 2003.
No. Yeah, but even our new Hulk, it's in proportion to the rest of his body. That was tiny.
The new Hulk is a perfect balance between the 2003 Hulk and the 2008 Hulk.
Yeah.
The 2008 Hulk I think is miles better. He didn't look like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
No, I don't know how I feel about it.
Don't you?
No.
I think when we were talking,
I really like Tim Roth.
You didn't like it. Tim Roth was. Should we just get straight into characters?
Yeah.
Tim Roth was fucking brilliant.
Tim Roth was amazing.
I can't fault Tim Roth in this.
Did you know
movie.
that one of my friends worked with Tim Roth?
What was he like?
Apparently, he was lovely.
Really?
There's a series on Sky Atlantic called Tin Star.
Yeah, there was. Oh yeah, and they filmed it in Liverpool.
They filmed it in Liverpool. There's a lad called Brian Comer that was in it.
Okay.
He's actually related to Jodie Comer.
Oh, okay.
And when I did Sweeney Todd in the Royal Court, Brian was the one that played the kid Toby
Oh, okay, yeah.
in that. So I've done a show with him. Like, his sound is really lovely, and he got a part on this, and he was supposed to be in one episode, and I think he ended up being in like 4.
Oh, that's decent.
So yeah, he's worked close with Tim Roth.
It's weird that it was set in Liverpool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not watched Tin Star. I've heard really good things.
I've not managed to get around to it, but I've heard really good things. But yeah,
he was boss in this. I can't wait to see. Even though he didn't do much comedy in this, but I think Tim Roth in She-Hulk's going to be brilliant.
Yeah,
doing really, really dry comedy.
So I didn't know that he was going to be in it.
In this?
In She-Hulk.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's what I saw before when you said don't spoil it for me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea.
He's in the trailers?
So that spoilt it for me. I haven't watched them.
Oh, okay.
I've watched the teaser, but I haven't watched an actual proper trailer for it because they're starting to give away too much. Marvel are starting to let things slip a little bit.
No, I know. Well, like we said at the start, Daredevil. Why did we need to see Daredevil in the trailer?
I think they're starting to spoil it for themselves now by giving away too much too soon.
Yeah.
And
then you just scroll through IMDb and spoiled it for yourself.
Yeah, because I wanted to remember what show he was in that was set in Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
And then I saw that he was Abomination. And that. But he's in 9 episodes.
Of She-Hulk?
Yeah.
I believe that, yeah.
So,
but it just because... it doesn't mean he's in them, though. He's just
credited.
Yeah.
Well, he was also... So IMDb has stated him as being in Shang-Chi, but uncredited.
He probably did the grunts and the noises.
Yeah,
and
well, that's
like
what
that.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that they've kept him for that as well. Do you know what I mean?
I think he's going to be really, really good in it.
Well, I'm wondering. So
we're obviously She-Hulk here rather than...
Sorry, yeah. We're going to get Wong, aren't we?
Yes. In She-Hulk?
Yeah.
You've not watched any trailers, have you?
No, I've really kept myself away from it.
He's a main. He's going to be a main character in the series.
So I just want to know what their relationship is like. Wong and Abomination after the Shang-Chi scene.
Yeah,
I want to know what's going on with them.
Even though they're both the trailers, there's no interaction between those two in the trailers. I don't think.
No, but I want to know like what's gone on.
But Tim Roth's in the trailers though. He's not Abomination. He's Tim Roth. I get the impression that in She-Hulk he's going to be able to change between the two.
Have we said that She-Hulk during the blip?
We don't know. We don't.
Because wasn't he in his sling again? Wasn't Bruce in his sling?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, but we don't. So in the again, we've gone off.
Sorry,
we'll get there though. No, that's what. Welcome to the Superhero Thing podcast. That's what we do. So in one of the clips of She-Hulk, there, Jennifer and Bruce are in a car.
Yeah,
and that's how she gets her powers. So he ends up getting hurt in the car crash.
Yeah,
she gets cut as well, and his blood goes into her, and I think that's how she's going to become She-Hulk.
Okay.
But he's got his arm in the sling. Later on in that clip, I think he's got his arm in a sling or something like that.
So whether it's the car crash,
I get the impression the car crash. Yeah. Or no, I think his arm's already in the sling as a result of the Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So is it during the blip?
But it can't be because he doesn't do the snap and wreck his arm until after Endgame.
Shit, yeah.
So I don't know. All will become clear next Thursday.
Yeah.
We'll know. I can't wait. Okay. I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to
this. Anyway, Tim Roth, brilliant, really believable.
Yes.
I like the fact that they didn't give him a crap American accent. That's not me saying the American accent is crap. Just British people doing American accent is usually crap.
Also,
they didn't go that route.
Because of his hair and stuff, he reminded me of the guy from Jurassic Park. You know, the English one that goes, clever girl.
Yeah.
Him.
Muldoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminded me of him.
Did he?
Just the way he looked. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know why. I think it's also because he was like walking around essentially hunting the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I think that was
just
part of it.
He was a hunter.
I think it was between the character and the way he was looking. It just reminded me of that.
He was a really believable character, though.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, you know, in every movie, particularly superhero movies, you can tell everybody's acting. Everything's very dramatic.
Yeah.
And then you get sometimes where it's not dramatic enough. And it's just like they're just reading lines.
Yeah.
He was just like, you've plonked a guy in this scenario, and he was reacting to things like a normal person would react. Maybe not going mental and trying to turn into a Hulk himself at the end.
Yeah.
But he seemed, his reactions to everything were really believable.
Yeah.
His arc when I was watching this, but specifically at the end when he starts getting like more like monster-like before he turns into it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really similar to the baddie in the Green Lantern movie, except miles better. You know, like where he slowly becomes a monster.
Yeah.
Do you know Green Lantern was 3 years after this?
Oh God.
No excuses.
It's not okay.
No
is
excuses at all.
No.
Let's talk about Ed Norton then as Bruce
Okay.
Banner. What do you think of Ed Norton as Bruce Banner?
So as Bruce.
Okay, we know you don't like the Hulk, yeah.
No, not even that. I actually didn't. I didn't mind him as the Hulk. I didn't mind
It was
the
just
acting and stuff
it was
like
just
that.
the look of the Hulk you
But
didn't
when
like.
he was Edward Norton, he was just like he was in Fight Club for me. I'm sorry. It was
Yeah.
just the depressed, inward, emo friggin'.
Do you think that's what they were going for, though?
Probably, but it's just all I've seen Edward Norton do.
Yeah, I suppose,
so
yeah.
I didn't feel like I was getting anything new from him.
I liked him. I thought he was very, very different from Ruffalo. Not in a bad way, just really, really different. And I think we're so used to Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner
Yeah.
that it just feels weird for him not to be. Not that Ruffalo was
thing is, though,
comicky in the first movie,
like
but
Mark Ruffalo, yes, he's quite funny as well.
yeah,
But he also has the same turmoil. It's the same character at the end of the day, and he's also had that battle. We're just at a different point with that battle for him.
we are.
You know-
but he's more happy-go-lucky. Ruffalo's Bruce Banner. I'd have been genuinely all right if we hadn't moved over to Mark Ruffalo's Banner and we'd stuck with Ed Norton's.
Yeah.
I think Ed Norton interacting with Robert Downey Jr. would have been really interesting. I don't think the MCU would have gone down the same route because I
No.
can't see Ed Norton doing what Ruffalo did in Thor Ragnarok. Just
No.
can't see him, and that's why Ed Norton's not in the MCU anymore, because
Yeah.
he wanted to take the character down a really, really dark path.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige was like, "Nah, that's not the way we're doing it." Apparently, he said he loved working with Marvel, and I think at the time it was all made out to be like they'd had like a massive Barney between them.
Yeah.
But he said he's never had any problems with Kevin Feige, and he likes the guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just that he wanted to go down. It wasn't his vision.
Just a difference of opinion. Yeah,
Exactly,
And
yeah.
that happens sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have liked to see that. I'd like to see. Do you know what? I would have been really impressed if Ed Norton had rolled up in Doctor Strange as a variant of Hulk, part of the Illuminati.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, that would have been boss.
Do you reckon if they ever did Planet Hulk that they could do something like that, Multiverse Hulk?
Yeah, I'd just like to see Ed Norton as Hulk again.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't know. We've not, apart from Thunderbolt Ross, we've not seen anybody up until now. I know obviously we've got Tim Roth back as Abomination.
Yeah.
But even his abominable Abomination looks miles different to what in the She-Hulk than what he looks like in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was all right with Ed Norton. Very different. A little bit disappointed we didn't see more of him, but again, I think it would have been a very different path. Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. You didn't like her, did you? No, she was better than Jennifer Connelly in the 2003 one.
Oh, I thought they were about the same.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me with Liv Tyler was she was much more emotional and animated.
The only
than
time I had
Jennifer
to
Connelly
shout properly,
was the taxi driver.
the helicopter, because she was trying to shout over the noise of the helicopter.
Yeah, she
The only
shouted
time
at the
I've had
taxi
her really
driver as
shout.
well, though. I thought that was quite funny when he was driving like a lunatic, and she was like, "What are you on?" sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was, again, you didn't see much of it.
No.
I just thought she was better than Jennifer Connelly.
I don't know.
Tell you who was better?
Who?
William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
I could understand every word that came out of his mouth.
Instead of Sam Elliott.
Instead of mustache. I understood everything.
Yeah.
I think he was absolutely spot on for the role.
Yeah.
Much more emotional, much
Yeah.
more animated, but more believable in the role.
Just a very angry man.
He was a very angry man, but it didn't seem, I don't know, is plastic the word? Sam
Yeah, no, I
Elliott,
get what you
Sam
mean.
Elliott Ross just came across as a dude reading lines. Everybody did in that movie.
Yeah.
Not me slagging off them as actors. I think it was the direction. But that's not me slagging off Ang Lee either. But I don't know, something just didn't work in that movie. But in this, it was like they were allowed to emote and they were allowed to actually act and become emotional. And you could see, like, again, it's like you said in Prey. It was the looks. I think it was more the looks on their faces.
Yeah.
Like when Betty Ross at some point in this movie says, "Never speak to me as your daughter again."
Yeah.
He looks broken.
Yeah.
The guy looks absolutely devastated that his daughter doesn't see him as her father anymore. Whereas you never got anything like that from Sam Elliott. It was just, I'm reading my lines and I'm saying them as they are on the script.
Yeah.
So I think it's not like a very high bar to beat, like, but it was miles better from an acting perspective and a casting perspective than
I must admit, one thing I really enjoyed was his first transformation at the beginning of the film.
I liked that as well.
I liked it because we didn't see it.
Yes.
I liked what we didn't see.
Yeah,
I liked the fact that you were getting just glimpse of a limb here or a quick shadow there and stuff like that as the fights were coming and stuff, and everybody was running away from him.
And we didn't even see full on Hulk in that scene.
No.
We didn't see full Hulk in the light.
Not clearly.
No, not until the university.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I really like that as well.
And it's one of the times again, like what we slagged off the 2003 one for, there was so much going on in this scene. There was more going on than it needed to be going on.
Yeah,
there was Blonsky coming in, Tim Roth, trying to chase him down. There were those sex pests who were trying to kill him in the factory. There was so much going on at once. I like the fact that they used the heart rate monitor. Because you could see him getting closer, and you could literally see his heart rate going up and down. It was like, when it gets to 200, he's going to snap. And it was just a really good way of building it up. But again, it felt horror movie.
It did.
It felt very similar to the Predator. The fact that you didn't see him fully. That scene, very very similar to that scene, felt like it was pretty much redone in the Avengers. When Scarlett Johansson's running from it, it's obviously not a drinks factory, but it's a very similar setting. This did it better than that. I think this was miles better than the Avengers one.
No, I agree.
Much darker, much grittier as well. Really decent scene. The other good scene, I mean, there were only a few like three big ones. There was that one. There was the university campus fight. I thought that was really good as well. Did you like that one?
Do you know what? That's the scene that I've always remembered. So when anybody talks to me about the Hulk, it's the hand on the window. That's the bit that I remember every time. That's the bit that sticks in my head. And
again, you've still not seen him fully at this stage.
No.
And again, it's coming, and the build up to it was really good. Again, really intense scene. Tim Roth, and I'm just going to rave about Tim Roth. Seeing him just be allowed to let loose. On the Hulk, and
getting
the fact
friggin' cannons out,
he's not allowed to at first though. It's like he's about to go, and Thunderbolt Ross is like, no, wait, and he's like itching to go. You can see him, and he's like, right, go, and he's like, yes, I'm going in. And he doesn't beat him up but when you see like how he's doing it, and even Ross is like, oh my god, he's doing it. He's actually doing it. He's flipping over his head and all that sort of stuff. And then he stands up to him, he squares up to him, and just gets absolutely pummeled, like one kick. But that's what I liked about this Hulk as well. He wasn't 28 feet tall. He was 9 foot. That's what they were going for. And again, he's a big green rage monster, so he's not realistic, but it was more realistic, even though it was a bit sinewy and skinny and lean. I think if you did that look now, you'd be happier with it.
No.
Don't you?
No.
It looked like...
I just didn't like it.
You said at the end it looked like Tekken 2.
Because...
the CG wasn't great.
He put his foot on Abomination. And then he did some...
he did.
And I was like, KO.
It was.
Do you know what I mean? It was like that.
I just thought the CG in general, they went for a really weird look.
There was also a very King Kong moment in it as well.
In the final fight?
Sorry, earlier on. You know when he's protecting Liv?
With
when he grabs Betty and he goes and puts her up on a cliffside. And then he goes off and he roars and all of that kind of stuff.
Thunder.
And it's like, that's very King Kong of him.
It was,
Like, and it just, you could see where inspiration was taken from certain bits and pieces.
I suppose it didn't.
Aesthetics.
It didn't match up perfectly though, because I thought in this, I mean, they made him like a proper primal animal in that scene, didn't they? Where he was shouting at the thunder and screaming at it and stuff like that. But then he seemed smarter than any other Hulk I've ever seen. So like him picking up the 2 pieces of metal in the university campus fight and using them as a shield. That was pretty smart. At the last fight, which I still really enjoyed, breaking the police car in half and using 2 halves of it as boxing gloves. I liked that, but it didn't match up with stupid Hulk
smash.
Even
Which
though he
is
said
what it is. It's all about him just wrecking the place. There's no thought behind it. It's supposed to be like a Jekyll and Hyde. It's a doctor and then a primal. It's the brain versus the brawn.
Exactly.
And you're not quite getting that. That's why I really like in the MCU when they go in Endgame, when they go back to the place of the original
There's
Avengers.
Such a difference.
And Mark Ruffalo watches old Hulk smashing and he's like, oh, this is embarrassing.
I know,
mortified. And I love that because that's him watching the brawn side now that he's found this balance. So I agree. Like, I just think there was a little bit too much thought behind what he was doing. And whether it was because they're trying to make him brainy or whether it was just because they thought it would look good, I don't know.
I think
they've done it for the looks.
I think they've done it for the looks. I think they probably also, at this stage, this was only the 3rd MCU movie ever. So there's probably a little bit in the back of their head of, we need to get a really good long character arc here. So we need to show the development and the evolution of the Hulk. Whereas now, you do that over 6 movies. Do you get what I mean? Which they did. You went from, look at the Hulk again, from Avengers to Endgame. Massive difference, but it was done over 10 years. If not long, if not more. Whereas at this point, it's like, we might have one Hulk movie here to
Stay
do the
in
Hulk,
school.
right? Exactly, yeah. Dab. But they didn't know they had that much time to work with, probably. So they had to get through it quick. I really liked that last battle, though. I thought having Banner drop out the helicopter, and not transform in midair. Saw it coming a mile off, but I still really enjoyed it. And when he hit the deck and just made this huge crater in there, But again, it didn't necessarily tie up because he was like, maybe I can aim it. That wasn't aimed. That was like Banner apparently looking like he was in control. Again, at the end of the movie as well, fully in control. I mean, it was skip to it, but where was that going? That was clearly that darker path that Eric Bana was talking about. Because we saw after he beat Abomination, which was really, the fight was really visceral. They were like pulling bones out of each other and stabbing each other in the chest and stuff like that. But after that, he basically escapes to like this little cabin in the woods. And then he's got his evil bad guy goatee going on, and it looks like he intentionally turns into Hulk. And I don't get where that... I read that when I first watched it, and still do now, to be fair, that he's bad. But there was a rumour when this was all going on that the Avengers movie, the baddie in the Avengers movie, was going to be Hulk, and it was going to be the Avengers all coming together to fight the Hulk, and that would make sense.
But I like that we've had that as little side stories, and not that they're fighting against Hulk, but just trying to contain him. Do you know what I mean? Like the one between Iron Man and Hulk. I can't remember which was that. Civil War.
No, it was Age of Ultron. With Hulkbuster.
That was brilliant.
Yes.
As a little side story to everything else that's going on.
Yeah, really
and
good.
I like that because it wasn't too, oh my god, Hulk is now evil. But it was he's unleashed and we need to contain him.
And people want to see this. So let's figure out a way of doing it. But at the same time, I'd love to see like World War Hulk. I'd love to see I'd love to see, not necessarily bad Hulk, but everybody else against the Hulk. But I don't feel like we're going to see that now, because Mark Ruffalo is a smart Hulk who
too balanced,
owns a bar and does yoga. Do you know what I mean?
And
as much as I'm interested in seeing that, I feel like we're not going to get that version of Hulk now, unless something really, really drastic happens, which could happen. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many more movies Mark Ruffalo signed on for. But would you even need him back if you just
want
went
to see
Hulk?
Venom v Hulk?
I'd love to see Venom v Hulk.
I think that'd be so cool. Can you imagine if Venom got a hold of Hulk?
Yes.
What the symbiote would look like?
That'd be so good.
Like it'd be amazing.
There's so many.
Do you know what? The only reason I say that is because of the fact that a majority of the conversation was about the Hulk when Tom Hardy landed in the MCU.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, he said about going to see Iron Man and Spider-Man, but the conversation was mainly about Hulk. And that just makes me think,
I'd love to see it happen.
Power, like
I'm not
stronger kind of thing.
I don't think we'll see Tom Hardy's Venom versus
but
Hulk.
the symbiote is there now in the MCU.
Secret Wars is a perfect opportunity for them to do that. They could end up with Hulk, even a variant of Hulk who is gone complete, like Maestro from the comics. Is basically Hulk, smart-ish Hulk who just destroys everybody and ends up running the entire world, and he's just defeated absolutely everybody. You could have that Hulk with the Venom symbiote, because that's where that comes from. That comes from Secret Wars. That's a suit that's given to him. So it could happen. It could happen. This movie, though, I really enjoyed it, especially when I'm looking through it, going, that was good. I think it was I think it was a solid movie. I think we're a little bit spoiled now.
I think we're a little bit spoiled, and I think that's my problem, because again, you know, it's not something I've revisited since the MCU started.
No.
So yeah, I agree that I think, like, because of the fact that we've seen so much development of the character, to go back to kind of quite a basic storyline of it. Yeah. Like, I mean, and again, you know, there's elements that I did really enjoy in the film.
Yeah.
There are, but for me. It was just the look of the Hulk. It wasn't my cup of tea.
And it's so different to the Hulk we've got. Not just the fact that it's Ed Norton. It's so different.
It's got nothing to do with Ed Norton at all. It's literally just how they've designed it.
Yeah.
I just wasn't a fan.
No. Well, I said other than that, I was all right with it, but I completely see the criticism. For it. It was a weird artistic choice.
It's one of those. It wasn't a terrible film. Would I choose to go back and watch it again? Probably not.
I was more excited. I was quite excited to watch it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was a solid movie.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think when you do like an
it's
MCU
one of those ones that could be on in the background, and I'd probably end up falling into conversation rather than sitting watching.
Yeah. Not bad, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But I said it's a stupid comic book movie. It's a green rage monster smashing stuff up and beating up an orange rage monster. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Yeah. Should we see what listeners thought? Should we do pod fans?
Let's do it.
Pod fans assemble.
So we looked at the Hulk. Ragnarok 265 said, the Incredible Hulk is still the best Hulk we've seen in the MCU. Ruffalo is a way better banner, but Norton's Hulk was actually the Hulk. Thanos would have died against this motherfucker.
I kind of agree a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I'd be very interested to see this Hulk against Thanos.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I like Smart Hulk, but I don't like Smart Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like, shit, that's us now. But
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna lose the ability to be Smart Hulk in this movie, because he's clearly Banner again.
Yeah.
So where's it gonna go? We'll know more in like 8 weeks.
I know.
We'll be done.
Utterly Random Guy said, really loved this movie. Though Abomination's design isn't like the comics that we now see in the MCU, I believe it's perfect because he really looks like an abomination.
Yeah.
I
like the look. I like the look that they're going with now, but I thought it was pretty decent, to be fair.
I like when somebody, especially when somebody tries to copy what somebody's done. So, for example, copying the gamma rays or something like that.
Yeah.
And then their response to the thing is not the same as the original.
Yes.
And it makes them worse off.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. I can't even think of an actual
it's
representation of it.
It was pretty much every early MCU movie. It's Iron Man 1, bad Iron Man.
Yeah, I just like the fact that
Red
they're going,
Skull.
they've done it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And then it completely affects them differently.
It was a really simple formula that Marvel went down, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when you look at all these movies, the first basically everything building up to Avengers.
Yeah.
There was nothing groundbreaking there, apart from the fact that they were all linked. You could clearly see Kevin Feige sitting there in the background going, right, nothing here is going to be mega.
Yeah.
It's going to be bog standard formula, but we're going to do it right and we're going to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
Yeah, totally. Geeky Nate said, we've talked about this before. While one prior is crap, this one is no better and relies heavily on the super fast opening montage of crap. One of the worst MCU films, the only good thing that came from it is us getting Ruffalo as Hulk in Avengers.
I don't agree with any of that, Nate. It wasn't crap.
Catch me outside.
Do you know what, though? I liked the opening.
I
liked the fact that we didn't get another Origin.
Yeah.
It very much came across as a sequel to the 2003 one, because that's how it was written.
Yeah.
I also really liked that they paid tribute to the Bixby version. So when you see Ed Norton turning into the Hulk in the opening credits, it's that exact same weird machine that Bill Bixby got in that didn't do anything, and it tipped him upside down and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they've clearly taken that from that. This could be a sequel to the Bixby movie that we watched.
Yeah.
Where he's traveling the world trying to look for a cure.
Yeah.
It could be a sequel to either of them.
Yeah.
So I like that. Sorry, Nate. I disagree.
Gabe said, Ed Norton is a fantastic actor. I feel he is a better Hulk than Ruffalo. The fight scenes are awesome and the tone is really good.
This is getting a lot more love than, apart from Nate, this is getting a lot more love than I thought it would get.
Yeah.
I thought people would like this off.
Peacemaker said, I remember seeing this opening night and wow, this is probably the best theatre experience I've had or will ever have. And whilst it doesn't hold up as a film, it's an experience I'd love to go back and rewatch time and time again.
Still generally positive.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to watch it again.
No, I'm good, thanks. Movies for real. The Incredible Hulk I hated at first, but eventually grew on me and I don't get the hate for it at all. To me, it was a pretty cool Hulk story. And this is the thing, I've said, I don't hate it.
It's a pretty cool.
It's a solid film.
It's a solid
It's
Hulk
just-
story. It's not the MCU though.
Yeah.
Doesn't connect enough to the MCU. I think that's the biggest issue.
Sean Geek and Fast Fret Podcast said, for the longest time, this was my fave Marvel Studios film. Norton is great. Liv Tyler works so well here. Why is there no Liv Tyler in latter movies? And the extras related to Captain America with Thunderbolt Ross and his super soldier stuff. What's not to like?
I don't get why we've not seen Liv Tyler again. I think they were just a bit trying to be careful, maybe because they weren't bringing back Ed Norton.
Maybe.
And they begrudgingly brought back William Hurt. Not that like they didn't want him, but it was like we need to bring back we need a Thunderbolt Ross here, so let's do this. Maybe Liv Tyler can come back now though, because we're getting Tim Roth.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe she's gonna pop in She-Hulk.
Maybe.
That'd be good. Well, she was in Thingy, wasn't she? She voiced Betty Ross in What If?
Did she?
She did.
Okay.
He says. I mean, that might be complete bollocks, but I think she did.
I'm sorry if I say this wrong. Carolia Christina?
Yeah, that sounds
Carolia?
good. Yeah.
Carolia? Don't know. The Incredible Hulk is an underrated film. I wish Betty Ross would appear in a future MCU installment.
Yes.
But yeah, with She-Hulk, she might.
She could.
We might very well get her.
Yeah.
Matt Spectro through the Multiverse podcast said, great movie. No idea why this one is so hated. Norton, Roth and Tyler, all solid action. It's great. Every action when he's Hulk is amazing. So underrated.
What would you do? Would you be happy with the ending of She-Hulk being no more Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner's lost the ability, gets rid of the ability, whatever, and goes off into the sunset with Liv Tyler's Betty Ross. And now She-Hulk is our Hulk.
No,
don't like that.
No, I don't want that.
Don't want that. What if?
Kevin Feige, take note. Don't want that.
What if? No, I don't want it now. Actually, came into my head. I was like, no. What if we get a Hulk and Banner separated, and we have a Hulk?
I'd be okay with that.
Angry Hulk, separate Banner. Banner goes off into the sunset, and Hulk's just a Hulk. Acting like he was in Ragnarok. So he's a little bit smart. He's capable. He can have a conversation.
Yeah.
But he's still just like a rage monster. And no more Banner.
I don't know. Because I feel like Banner would be as balanced still.
Yeah, no, but I kind of.
So
I think that'd be a better way of doing a World War Hulk.
It would be a much better way. There's nobody to chill him out though. If you take Bruce from the equation,
you could bring back
you've got
Bruce
no
sometimes.
Natasha. You've got no.
Natasha's dead.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You've got no Iron Man.
Yeah.
So there's no Tony. There's no Natasha. There's no one that Bruce was really close with.
No, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I want Angry Hulk back. I don't want Smart Hulk
yeah,
anymore.
no, I don't.
And I feel like just backtracking and going, can't do that anymore. I've lost the ability.
No, they need to like the way they've done with Spider-Man, taking him back to his roots.
Yeah,
like
but you can't just have everybody forgot.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is,
sorry, I know.
Stop kicking off.
I can't think of a way of doing it without it just going like, oh shit, we cocked up, we shouldn't have gone the Smart Hulk route.
Well, it could be the basis of he's still maybe he's trying to find a similar cure for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And he gets hit with more gamma rays that kind of revert back the work that he's done. You could have there's so many different things that could happen.
It could be as simple as he's made the choice to not be a Hulk anymore, and that's why he's Banner again.
Yeah.
But by doing that, he has to separate the identities again.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it feels a bit forced. I'd rather have the two Hulks.
There could be a moment where, because he's balanced so much, that somebody says to him for this particular fight, whatever it is, you need to go full Hulk, and he's like, I don't want to do full Hulk anymore. And then when he goes full Hulk, it's a bit like Ragnarok the first time when he couldn't change back again.
Yeah.
Because he suppressed it so much. Did they?
You think so? I mean, I might have made that up. But
sometimes it's like sometimes when you suppress something so much, it bursts like a bottle at the end of it. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Because that Hulk personality has been bottled up, like Banner's was.
Yeah.
Even though he's got the Hulk power.
Yeah.
It's not that personality's not there anymore. He's full on Banner.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we'll know by the end of She-Hulk. Though.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So moving on to Prey.
Okay.
So these are the reactions that we got off our listeners on Prey. The Prey movie is something I didn't... Oh, sorry, superhero poll. The Prey movie is something I didn't know I needed. Wow, I'm blown away. Enjoyed every second. Hoping for a sequel or series in the near future. Can't get enough of Amber Midthunder as Naru. Do you know what? I'll tell you what, if they did a sequel as a series, I'd be okay with that.
Well, like a TV series?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of want that. I want Naru's story over. I don't, because I think they'll just ruin it, like I said.
Yeah.
I'd have a series of movies.
Maybe. I just think it could carry on with movies, but she has like a little spin-off series about those three, and the series is again. How dare you roll your eyes at me?
I'm all right.
I wish you'd have all seen that. Then.
Leave it. It wasn't you. I was rolling my eyes at the idea.
Oh,
let's just leave it there. Not the conversation. I mean,
anyway.
the podcast. Fuck this. Disagreement.
I'm going home. Superhero poll finished with highest kudos to Danny TRS.
Daniel Trachtenberg, the director.
Yeah.
Good job. Better than Ang
Is
Lee.
he related to Michelle Trachtenberg?
Don't know. I did think that when I read the name.
I thought that because I've just not heard that name before.
Maybe.
And then...
Yes. We're going with a yes. They're related. They might not know
Brother
that.
and sister.
Breaking news to Dan and Michelle.
Maury said, I don't understand the criticism, honestly.
I haven't seen any criticism.
I didn't see any criticism.
But I get the fact that Maury likes the movie. So, yeah, I agree.
We Needed Roads podcast said, just giving Dan Trachtenberg all the money to make what he wants and give Amber Midthunder her own action franchise.
Yeah.
And then it's a Brooklyn Nine-Nine gif with badass.
It was badass. Yeah, maybe if you give Dan... I think it'd be okay as long as there's no studio interference.
Okay.
And it's not just like, let's make loads of money. Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to ruin it.
Well, for example, there's an Apple series called C.
Yes.
With Jason Momoa.
I've not watched it, but I know. I've heard good things.
If they did a Prey series that was similar to that with Predator in it,
yeah,
that would have the potential to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not everyone going blind and then trying to fight Predator while blind.
I'd watch that. Best series ever. Make the Predator blind as well.
If it bleeds, we won't know. Oh, God.
I'd watch that.
Infinity Bros said, fantastic entry to the franchise. Amber Midthunder was great and hopefully we'll be getting more roles soon.
Yes, she was really good.
She was amazing. Sleepy Dad said, it's an excellent watch, properly stripped back, no gimmicks or overuse of the Predator tech. I loved seeing all the little nods to the original movies. Went, aha, a few times.
Yeah.
We'll be rewatching tonight on my projector outside. Outside?
No, not tonight.
I was like, I've got a projector, and then you said outside and just one-upped me. Davey AK said, I really loved the movie. I wish I'd seen it in a movie theatre, but it was still amazing. A lot of people have said that that's the disappointing thing for them.
Yeah. I mean, I would not
having a movie release.
I would never have gone to watch this in the cinema, I'll be really honest.
Wouldn't you?
No. But because I don't get that much time to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
I only go to like really, really big movies, and I would have waited for... I mean, maybe if it had seen all the reviews, I might have considered it, but it wouldn't have been the thing that I'd have gone, right, I have to go to the cinema day one to watch this. I would have waited for streaming. But knowing how good it was, it should have got a theatrical release. I can't wrap my head around why it didn't get a theatrical release, to be really honest.
Yeah. Davey AK carried on to say, it would be awesome to get a sequel with Amber Midthunder as a war chief fighting against multiple predators, as hinted in the credits. After all, they do recover that pistol at some point.
They do. Yeah, because that pistol is in Predator 2.
1795.
Yeah, so in Predator 2, Danny Glover is fighting a predator in New York City. Yeah. So he's a cop.
Yeah.
And he eventually beats the predator. And at the end of the movie... Have you seen Predator 2?
I want to say yes, but I don't know for certain.
So at the end of the movie, when he kills the predator, like a load of predators all show up.
Yeah.
And you think, oh shit, he's going to get killed now. But because he's beat the predator in, hand-to-hand combat or whatever, they present him with a prize, which is that gun.
Oh, okay.
But that's set in like 1985 or 1986 or something like that. So how have they got... Davey's quite right. How have they got that gun back?
Yeah.
Is it just like we're having a bit of a reboot and it's just a nod, or are they gonna get that gun back at some point?
With it? Yeah. Okay, that's quite cool. Imagine if we just follow the story of the gun.
Yes.
The
I like that.
sequels are the actual transitioning of the gun from one to the other.
Yeah, and how it got to New York. Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
Good shout.
Kenneth said...
I'd rather watch Blind Predator.
Oh, God.
I want to watch that movie.
Kenneth was the best Predator since the second one. Loved it, and I'm now Nurustan, and hope we see more. Century Fox Disney have a huge hit on their hands with this film. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, boss.
Nathan said it was a great movie, best in the franchise since the original.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
I would.
Rachel Miller said, I really liked it, thought it looked amazing, the action was great, and loved how she drew him in at the end. Would have looked great on the big screen.
It would have.
Everyone's saying the same thing, really. Liam Dearden, Prey movie is one of the best entries in the Predator franchise. Danny has crafted a brutal, primeval, and emotional survival epic powered by Comanche tradition and a fierce performance from Amber Midthunder, who kicks ass as the animalistic predator becomes her prey.
Love Liam's mini reviews.
He does
Thanks,
a good
Liam.
mini review, Liam, doesn't he?
It's good, Liam.
Peacemaker,
Cheers,
thanks, Liam. Peacemaker said the Predator movies have never been good at sequels, so they just went the prequel route, and it worked out amazingly.
It did. Do you know what? I liked Predators, the one that they did a few years ago with Adrian Brody and Topher Grace.
I can't remember.
It was all right,
you know.
It was basically...
Was there buses involved in that one? School buses?
No, maybe. I don't think so. It was So basically, they dragged loads of people from Earth, like basically loads
and put them on another planet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, love that.
Along with
like Hunger Games Predator.
And one of the people was a predator.
Oh, okay.
But he wasn't in like the team. And then there was this like there's like a more evolved predator, and they were bigger. And they basically they were the hunters.
Oh, okay.
I quite enjoyed it. I think I've only seen it once, but I had fond memories of it.
I need to sit down and watch all the Predators again, to be honest, because
Not the Alien versus Predators. They were shit.
No.
They were crap. That's what I liked about this one, the fact that you didn't really see the Predator until the end, whereas in Alien versus Predator, he was like mates with the woman, and they were like fighting together along, against the aliens, and it just didn't work. Yeah.
And then finally, Jessica Barry said, absolutely loved it. The cinematography was stunning. The script is well crafted, and I love the feel of the natural lighting throughout. The scene where you find out the horrific slaughter of the bison was done by the hands of the trappers and not the predator was a nice touch.
It was good.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. Is that us?
That's everything. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody, for
Cheers,
getting involved.
guys.
Right, so before we do the wrap up, let's do patron shout-outs. Thanks to Geeky8, Kenneth, Night Spearhead, Jessica, Richard, Avid Gamer, and Anthony Wells for supporting the show. Patrons get exclusive access to our bonus podcast, Into the Podverse, with new episodes every month. This month, we are doing, we're doing The Sandman, and I know you all love it, and everybody loves it. My God. Spoilers for Into the Podverse. It's hard work, like. I don't get it. Where are you up to, episode 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
I'm up to episode 9, and I have never unenjoyed a show so much.
Really?
Yeah, I do. If I wasn't covering this on Podverse, I'd have given up.
Do you know what?
At
the minute, I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it either.
I've got a lot to say about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like nobody's going to agree with me. Because clearly they don't.
Probably not.
Because we've already had some pod fans assemble for that episode, and everyone's like,
really?
It's brilliant, it's the best movie ever. And I'm not saying it, not movie, best series ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're wrong. Anyway, last month as well, we did Stranger Things Season 4.
Volume 2.
And Umbrella Academy Season 3. I couldn't remember if it was Season 3 or Season 4 of Stranger Things, but the latest one. So you get access to all those, and you also get access to the Discord server where you can talk to other patrons and listen to the podcast being recorded live.
Yeah.
You get all that for £4 or $5 per month. If you would like to access all the extra content and support the show, you can head over to thatsuperherothing.com/Patreon or just hit the link in the episode description. It's dead easy. Otherwise, though, thanks for listening, and don't forget to come back next week for She-Hulk Episode 1. Really excited now. I'm more excited now than I was.
Yeah.
You're not, because you've not watched any trailers.
Also,
what else are we doing next week?
No, it's not that we're also doing another thing. Just anybody who's wanting to put forward for Pod Fans Assemble, let's just say it now, because obviously there's going to be a less time.
We are going to have less time
out because Disney have moved She-Hulk to a Thursday, which is the day that we record.
Disney have fucked us over.
Yeah, they have a little bit. So cheers, Disney. But if you want to get involved, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder for you, but it just means that we're going to be a bit more time sensitive than usual.
It's going to be just as easy as always. You just need to be quick.
Sorry, that's what I mean. Yeah. There's just less time.
Yeah. So you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah. So as soon as you've watched She-Hulk,
just throw your thoughts over to us.
Let us know. We'll have the poll on there as well, and you can be involved in next week's Pod Fans Assemble. As we said at the start, if you enjoyed the show, please make sure to subscribe on your favourite podcast platform and leave us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify. This helps us out massively, because the more subscribers and 5-star reviews that we get, the higher we go up the chart and more people can find the show. Other than that, though, I think that's us done. Yeah. I need to go because it's pig and boiling in here.
I know, and it's going on an ice cold bath now.
It's really, really, really hot. Do you know what else I need to do? Not watch telly. I feel like all I've done is watch films.
I know, yeah, same.
I've watched the whole Incredible Hulk. I've watched friggin' Sandman. I've watched
Prey.
all the I Am Groots. I watched Prey twice, which, to be fair, was good. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go home and watch Prey in Comanche.
Oh, are you?
I might do that. I might do that. I mean, I've got to edit the podcast first, but after I've done that, I might do that. Other than that, though, guys, thanks very much for listening, and we'll speak to you next week.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.